And hello, everybody. So glad to be here. And so this is the Facebook Live this week. We weren't able to do it, of course, like so many people weren't able to do their things earlier this week when Facebook was down for a while. So I decided I would go ahead and just go ahead and do it today. So we're going to do the Facebook Live that normally I always do on Mondays at 3 p.m. Central. We're doing it today on Wednesday. So I'm excited because there's some things I really want to share with you today that I just didn't want to have to wait till Monday to talk about with you. And I wanted to, of course, always offer you guys the group energy scanning and channeling and individual energy scanning and everything. So we'll have a great chance to be able to do that today. So good to see you here, Mary, and everybody that's tuning in. So today we're talking about really how to rock it, from that soul power. A lot of times I feel like for us light leaders, that we empaths, light leaders, and everything, that we're connected with so much energy all the time that, like for me, I connected to so much energy. It doesn't happen that often, but there are times when, like last night, I'll just be transparent about it. There's so much energy can get activated, and I can do all the techniques in the world, but it can literally keep me up at night, right? So it's like there's so much energy. So if I look a little fatigued today, it's just because of that. So there's just so much energy coming in and so much to be digested sometimes. But I think sometimes we try to because I see this for the tribe too, it's like we try to manage our energy in a lot of different ways so that we don't have we don't have to face some of the energy that wants to be more further integrated inside of us. So we avoid things like getting into the world to do the marketing and the selling that would allow us to have clients and do our work. I hear people all the time, I'm working on the back end of my business, I'm working on my website, I'm working on this or that. That's all fine and well, but what's your heart want you to do? Does your heart want you to pour your soul into just serving people? And how does it want you to serve right now? What is it calling you to do right now? And even if you're energy sensitive like I can be, then to allow yourself to move through that, to digest what's to be digested there within that process. If there's a momentary excess of energy coming in, to continue to that's energy that wants to be digested. So allow yourself to have these experiences anyway, because ultimately, like, it's there to be presenced and to be addressed. So are you bringing all of yourself into your business, into your purpose? Because that's what I see that is missing so much, is we're just not being ourselves. I have conversations with people all the time that are getting locked into the safety and security and also into their left brain kind of analytical ways. And they have their own mind and other people's minds telling them they should be like this, they should do these things to grow their business, and they sound smart and strategic. And then they don't usually do them, or they don't work because they're not alive with the soul power that's within you, that's trying to ask you to do something probably completely different or significantly different. So today, hopefully I can bring you some messages that continue to keep you awake and deepen your awakening to what's really true for you, what's really resonating for you. Because when I tap in, usually people say it resonates, and so as I'm tuning in today, watch for that. And then it's a matter of allowing yourself to be willing to say yes, that finally you are going to embrace being in your body, embrace being in this reality, embrace your fire and steel energies to rock it here, right? To rock it here with your purpose in this lifetime. So a lot of times those, because they're elemental energies, of course, right? So when I'm talking about, your water energy and your air energy and all that. We could say, well, it's this chakra, that chakra, that. I'm sure, but like ultimately, like I can find those elements in every single chakra, and so overall, is your energy leaning towards water, air, elemental sort of energy? Because that's usually what I find. It's like, one of the analogies I've come up with, I've seen this movie before, maybe you've heard of it, The Last Airbender. Has anybody heard of it or seen the movie? But anyway, and I don't want to give it away, but the main character is the last airbender, last one that can bend air, on the planet in this scenario, and very masterful with that, but has not integrated all the other elementals, hasn't mastered them. So, and until this person is able to do that, then they're not as effective and able to do what they're meant to do to save the day. In this case, it's just a movie, but it points to truth. So for you to be most effective, you need to, master all your energy as much as you can. And like I said, it's not, mastery doesn't mean you're in a bubble or in plastic. Like okay, it's perfect, just freeze dry it, we're done. We are, energetic beings. We're having experiences. Things energy is moving. So there is no such thing as we are deepening in our mastery. We still have energies that come up to deal with. I think a lot of people think they're going to get to where they're perfect and like everything's just static clean, like it's crazy. It's a crazy mind concept of perfection, and it doesn't exist. So we got to be willing to mix it up. We got to be willing to, with awakened selves, we need to be willing to bring ourselves into it, to awaken ourselves and awaken others. I always say we can easily be awake on the mountaintop, right? So we can become awakened. Like you could be kind of crazy in your head or whatever in your energies once you go up onto the mountaintop, like for a retreat or something. But ultimately, like, it'll get to be pretty easy, right? You let go after a while, and then finally, oh, I'm so enlightened in nature and everything. All right, okay, let's get back down to the village, below or whatever. Let's see how awake you are now. Or like a lot of people say, hey, let's have you hang out with your family for a while and see how awake you are. And it's the same thing with our business. We can be, oh, I'm so awake and I'm so connected all the time in my business. But maybe you don't have that many clients. You're not making the impact that you could be making. And what keeps you from that is you don't want to experience having to persuade people, that feeling of having to, enroll people or sell or have to do the money thing or all that. At the next, even if it's like you're doing okay with money, but like to go to your next level feels frightening. Like, oh my God, what's that gonna mean? And I better get really smart. And wanting to get really smart about how to proceed with things means that you don't feel safe. The mind is what always takes over with strategies when we're trying to go to a next level, whatever the level is, because we don't feel safe. And so show me the safe, proven path that it can't be helpful, but it often bottles our energy up. When if we utilize the elementals and bring our elemental of fire and steel and just like, hey, I'm passionate about what? They call it your why. What is your fiery why for what you want to do? Like one of my clients, we had to identify like what that was because some of the energy wasn't moving for her to move into action. So I'm like, what's your why? Well, people need to know the truth. Like that's what she connected with, right? So what's your thing? Like for me, one of the reasons why I do what I do is because I want people to maximize their potential in terms of awakening and sales. Like there's a lot more available, right? There's a lot more potential. There's a lot more potential for you to tap into as an infinite being. As an infinite being, you have so much capacity to experience everything, right? That there's not a limitation. There's not a separation between spirituality and money and sales and marketing and all this stuff that, when we're being fully awake, that there's a awakened path for all of us to be maximally effective and supported and have everything work for us. But we're just not trusting, or we're not willing to say yes. And until we say yes to all of who we are, then we find like things aren't working. So we have to say yes to all aspects of ourselves, and that just happens to include fire and steel, which I find is universally lacking within the people that gravitate towards me. So so it's a matter of like because we associate fire and steel with being this disconnected, egoic, motivational push energy, and it's not about that. It's about enlightened steel. It's about enlightened fire. But we need to be willing to feel that energy in the first place, right? So it's about coming into that center and allowing ourselves then to be masterful at all levels of our in our energetics. So how can you claim your fire and steel? Well, first with fire, it's like know your why. What is your why? It's an age-old question in the motivational circles, but I find it's helpful overall for awakening and sales and everything. If you don't have that, we tend to want to just go into that simplistic namaste sort of energy, where it's beautiful energy, but nothing's happening. So when you identify your why, when you can identify what your soul-driven power why is, that ignites the flame. So what is your why? Steel energy, is just really being clear about something. You know, it doesn't have to be that you're crazy about anything with any of this either. Like, hey, this week I'm getting 5 new clients or whatever. Like, 1 new client this week, that's it. You know, like just being definitive, because you have the power just to choose and decide. But we haven't been taught that. Oh, we'll have to see if it works out. Like, what's our strategy? What's our tactics? Oh, geez, I don't know how that's going to work out. And I hope it works. I hope they'll have they want to work with me. I hope they'll have the money. I hope this. I hope that. And, you know, and then things don't seem to work out so well, right? Or you get lucky here and there, right? Oh, it seems like I let something happen. Oh, great. But then, you know, you don't have the consistency. With steel, you can build great connected energy with just what you're truly wanting to choose on your path, and just say, hey, this week I'm getting 10 new clients or whatever it is. Just hey, boom, hey, that's it. Like just a commanding yes. And then where people I think get a little lost is just the idea of like, you've got to be like in this energy all the time, right? You don't know. No, you've got a lot of water and air energy. Once you just bring in that steel, and you got that steel in the center of all of it, you know, within all the other elementals, then you don't have to be on it all the time. You just be clear. You could just be clear for one moment, and then it's done already, right? You could just be aware of your intention within that landed energy, and it can be done. You know, it's not that you have to be in it all the time necessarily, but it's just being clear. And then you do want to be awake to that in your boundaries, right? We tend to overgive. We tend to bleed our energy. So we want to be sure that we're steely enough in our interactions and doing business with life. There's a business of life that's going on, and how are we being in our relationships? How are we being with our health? How are we being with, you know, all the different aspects of our life, including our business? So anyway, so that was a big aspect and that I wanted to get into. So we're going to start getting into the channeling everything, but you know, claiming your power, and understand that by learning to harness that, at the same time that you're just in the connected, enlightened state of awakening, which to me is just a stillness. It's not some big satori, big energetic experience. Those are fun, but what it tends to lead to a lot of times is the fantasy mind takes over. The fantasy mind says, whoa, I'm into this and I'm into that, and you get so caught up in it like you're lost. You know, true enlightenment is you're just clear. You're just here now. You just feel the presence. You just are here now. That's all. It's nothing. It's not the fantasy mind. The fantasy mind has all kinds of ideas about what awakening and enlightenment is, and some of these experiences, energy moving, are beautiful, and as part of an experience we get to have, and we're meant to embrace that. But it's not enlightenment itself. It's not the awakened state itself. It's it's energy moving, right? So our mind will attach all kind of fantasies to it. So anyway, so all right, so finally let's get into doing some it's funny, I talk about all these things, you guys, and it's part of my thing is to talk about these things. And when I work with clients, like what I'm doing is I'm just channeling and downloading whatever it is you guys need. Like whatever you need is a channel, as a healer, a intuitive business coach. I'm just dialing everything in for you guys. And so we talk about these subjects here. Now let me tune into the group to see around Awaken Sales what the group may want to hear about today or needs to hear as I do an energy scan for the group. If you want an individual energy scan today, you can just say energy scan, please, or just ask a question. If you have a specific question about your business, sales, your purpose, or whatever, you can put a question below and I can tune into it for you and provide you with what downloads I may have. And then we'll do some channeling later. Okay, so let's do the group scan for a few moments here, for a few minutes. All right, here we go. Everybody's here and then we'll be listening. I'm just getting the feeling like I'm not alone. Like I said, I had all this energy going on last night. I feel like I just feel like there's a lot of energy going on right now. I feel like this is what the group needs to hear today is, I've been hearing this from a lot of people, and that doesn't make it true necessarily, but like it's confirmation of what I've been feeling for a long time. This is a big month. I know people say that all the time. Hey, this is a big one. And I'm always the one that always kind of laugh at it. But there's something about this month that is really big with the energy. Okay, now could it be connected to outside events going on in the world and things like that? Yeah, I mean, it's all interconnected. So, but there's a big energy going on right now. And so what it's creating for people that are light leaders is, if it's not happening for you, that's okay. But like you are where you are, it's perfect. So is more energy is wanting to be activated. So my guess is that you're feeling more of a desire to be in the fire energy, to move forward. But it's like it feels like there's a lot of energy that's going on. But there's also the concern. There's some fears. There's some. You could easily be like, oh my God, everything's coming down. Like things are changing so much on the planet. I don't know if I can handle this. So what I'm hoping and what I pray for you all is that you're experiencing, but I'm the answer. I'm the answer. Me, the channel, who I truly am is the answer. Me becoming embodied in who I truly am is the answer. Is the answered prayer to everything. And so when you are in that knowing, then you get to experience it this month. In that way, you can see enormous growth, enormous results this month when you claim that. And the more you go with the fear and you go with old ideas and whatnot, you try to stay stuck there, which is hard. It'll be harder now. It's going to get harder to try to stay the same. And you increasingly feel like you just can't stay the same. You have to revolutionize yourself in a way. So if you're feeling that, that's what I feel is just kind of a collective energy going on for light leaders right now. That's just extra intense. So we go to astrological charts and all that. I'm sure all would confirm that. But that's just not my bailiwick, as they say. I don't go into all that stuff. So I'll just leave it at that for now. On that, let's see if there's one or two more things real quick for the group as a whole. I just get the feeling in the core of my being, like just trust yourself. You've got to just jump in, and you might feel like there's no parachute. I'm definitely going to hit the ground. There's no way that I'm going to make it. That is the awakened journey. It's flying without a parachute. With the feeling like even if you had a parachute, you don't know if it'll work. Holy cow, I don't know, it might not work. Like honestly, trust me, you've got a parachute. It's going to work. Whatever that means. However you think now is a great time. Strike while the iron's hot. The iron's hot right now for those that are willing to leap, you will be rewarded this month. You know, you will be rewarded. I mean, in mass. Okay, so because I don't know how to explain it, just it's true, and that's the encouraging message they're just asking me to share with you. Okay, let's see. So yeah, I feel you just claiming that fire, that steel energy, that fortitude, like, hey, moving forward. I have no clue if I'll be totally successful for my mind, but I'm claiming it, and I'm claiming it with steel and fire, and now is the time. Okay. All right, so that's what I'm picking up on for the group. I did see some people, definitely, Marita says, okay, all right, great. So how do I find my purpose? Okay, well, we've talked a few times, Maria, about that, but that's a great question for the group too. So let me tune into that. Yeah, I mean, I probably talked about this a few times, right? But so yeah, probably repeating myself from some time in the past, but of course, repetition is the mother of all great things, right? Or whatever that quote is. So, you know, you guys, one of the ways to know like what your purpose is in part is to, it's funny, like anger, you know, your contracted energies actually help to reveal your purpose, you know, your outer purpose. So what really gets you riled up? Like what's the number one thing you see going on in the world? You're like, this should not be, and like you feel like that is something you're supposed to do something about. Like, so you could start with the usual things, you know, hey, for my vaccines, I think everybody should be vaccinated. I'm not for the vaccine. It could be things like that, politics, all that stuff, all the back in, you know, all that sort of thing, all the duality, in all those conversations, and so that's fine. So, but where we are there, but it's not, you know, it's probably not that, right? So, what is it? What is the thing that's been with you beyond like the headlines of the day, right? Like the thing, like what, like as a kid, you know, again, when you think about when you're in your probably 12, 13 years old or something like that, what was the thing you saw, like maybe in your parents or in the world, or you're like, man, or maybe it was after that, but sometime early in your life, you're just like, this shouldn't be, this should be like that. I feel like I'm supposed to do something about that. And maybe you haven't, right? And you've done it to a degree. But the thing that just kind of pisses you off the most, you just love to rant about it night and day, that points to your purpose. Is that your purpose, the thing that pisses you off? It may be. It very well may be. But it definitely points into it. So, you know, I could think about people that I know that are living their purpose, and I can see where it happens. Like, you know, like if you, like, man, like people just aren't kind to each other. Like, I just am such a stand that people should be kind to each other, and like love is the answer. And specifically, like if people would learn to just speak from their heart and love each other, like that would be everything. But what prevents people from being in their heart? Okay, wonder, all right, so maybe I can help with those things that keep people from being in their heart. And then you could build a whole business around that, you know, like for your purpose. So the thing that pisses you off the most, for me, like one of them is, as it turns out, and I've tried to avoid it so many times, guys, I really have, like, because a lot of people say, you're a spiritual teacher, Daniel, you're not supposed to be doing sales and stuff. I've had people say that, not in mass necessarily, but I've had some people say that. And the truth is, like, I always come back to, like, sales, it just pisses me off when I know people could be doing better to help more people through their sales, and then they're not experiencing that, you know? So it came from my upbringing. It's like my parents were both in businesses, and they were very limited. Even though they were somewhat prosperous, they were very limited in their businesses. I always thought, like, you could do so much more. Can't we market to these people and those people and expand here and there? And like, it was just natural. Like, I naturally wanted to see this growth happen. It was just a natural desire, and I wanted to coach them and everything. And I did to some degree, and I did help, you know, I did help my moms particularly to own her value. You know, owning their value is a big thing for me. So every single client, you know, at some level, I'm always like, hey, own your value, own your gifts, you know. So like that's my thing. I've created a whole business around it for a long time, and there's so many ways I help with that. So what is it for you? What is your thing that just, man, just this shouldn't be this way? And then particularly for you, Maria, you know, you're the miracle sphere person. You know, you're just a channel. Again, like we've talked about this, you know, we've talked. So you're a channel that connects with people with the ease of having what they want. So you can enroll people into that through your persuasiveness, but also through the persuasiveness of you just being in the channel of that presence, of that magic, of like, oh, don't you see how easy the energy can flow and how everything can work? Can't you see this? Like, it's so obvious to me. Like, to you, it's obvious. To most of us, we're just not awake to it. So you're awakened to it. So you're there to bring that awakening to others. Let me awaken you to that. How do you do that? Well, then you need to find a way to do that. How can you teach that to other people? That's the question. Like, so you have to break that down. Okay, what would be the first thing I'd want to share with, if you're doing as like a class? Like, what would be the titles of those classes, you know, or each class? Like, you know, it could be many courses, but if you were to design one, what would the titles be for each one? Well, first they need to understand that they're infinite source or whatever, then that they're infinite power, whatever, and then they'd have to understand that, you know, what you desires you, you know. Okay, that's the next one, and then the next thing would be whatever, and then you just outline the whole thing. So I feel that, you know, again, you could be a master trainer and a teacher, and you know, again, the training, you know, where I want to tease it out with you, we've talked about it before, is teasing out if it also applies to sales, because sales has been your life. So I really feel that it would connect to that. And then how does it all, you know, again, like that's where people do the work with me, is like, okay, I think you're onto something. Then we got to figure out the rest, right? We got to download the rest, get it all worked out so that it gets all turned on, aligned inside you, so that you have the clarity, and then you can allow yourself to build it out, so to speak. Okay, well, that would mean boom, 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 boom. And then you meet all that out, so to speak, right? Okay, this is who I would serve. This is what I would offer. This is how it would be marketed. This is how it's sold. And it's just an isness. It's not like, again, you're being so in your head. It's just a feeling of isness. This is the direction. And then from the awakened presence, you take the steps that make sense, clearly, powerfully, with, of course, your big why, and with a lot of fire and steel and all the rest. So anyway, hopefully that's a little helpful for you, Maria. You were one of the people I was getting like, hey, just jump in. Like, whatever it is you've been thinking about doing, just jump in, go for it, you know? Definitely been getting that vibe for you. Okay, so great. I know it's a little different today. We don't have quite as many people as normal, I think, in part because it wasn't pre-advertised, right? So it's a little bit different today. So why don't we do some, I didn't see any other people asking for channel messages yet, so, or scans, I should say, or whatever you want to call them, right? All of it. So I was going to go ahead and let's do some channel messages and a channel prayer in a moment. Okay. Okay. And Maria and anyone else that feels like, hey, I think Daniel's on some stuff here today. I'd love to see if he can help me to manifest and create what it is that I sense is there for me and help flesh it out. And just reach out to me. Just say, yes, I'd like to hear from you below. Like, yes, I'd like to hear from you below. Okay, then we can maybe set up a consultation or something for you to begin to explore further. Okay. Okay, so and yes, this is recorded, Maria, so it'll be here. Okay, sure thing. My pleasure to share with you. And hi, Carol. Good to see you here. All right, let's go ahead and do some channel messages. Be the sweet music that flows within your soul. Watch the magic happen as your doubts disappear. Fear not the greatest treasures that lie within you, for you have desecrated nothing in truth, and you're worthy of receiving all of the gifts that you are. Embrace it all and know you are meant to be one with it and share it with the world. Thank you. I don't know. I get kind of Mother Mary and Jesus vibe on where this emanates from, but it's a message. It's coming through. Okay. Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Archangel Metatron. Feel the power of your path. You come here to lay down, to rest what you felt was needing attention here at this juncture in human evolution and in consciousness. Be firm and clear on what you've intended already. Take a stand for it now. As Daniel says, strike while the iron's hot, as comes to mind. Okay, now is the time. No more hesitation. No more fears. No more doubting. Let go and let it happen. Okay, let's see what's next. Another message from Mother Mary. Okay. You are tenderly loved. You are caressed by the sweet energy of the divine. Feel her presence with you always. Know your fire and steel and all of who you are at every level is cared for and encased within this care and love of the divine. Let her give you comfort and care. Know all is well. Thank you. All is well. What you sense truly wants to happen through you, let it be well. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Jesus energy. Hold on. Walk with me, you are not alone. Let your fears dissolve again and again as you walk with me from the Sacred Heart. Take my hands and know the pure love of being here with me in the Sacred Heart. I'm here as a guide. I'm here as an example. I'm here as a stand for the embodied love that you want to share. Thank you. Marketing energy says, "Come on, we can let's mix it up. Let's mix it up with people. Let's mix up the energies." Some kind of marketing guy or something inside of me saying that. I don't know. Mix it up guy. Let's mix up the energies. Let's move with the energies. Okay. And then you can remember it's all encased in this beautiful divine love, that you're always one with it. Yet there's this energy that wants to move in you. Allow yourself to experience all of this. Thank you. Okay. It's like, let's figure it out. Let's work it out. I got the back of my head, I get that. Like the left side of my brain. And then as you're connected, then the all parts of yourself work brilliantly. Your brilliant strategy can present itself. Loving care for all. Through marketing, sales, all are cared for, all are loved, including you and everyone you're here to serve. Thank you. I'm just hearing like this is again all what we're talking about when we talk about awakened sales. It's the desire to love. It's the desire to simply share the truth from your heart. Be well. Share your truth. The highest good of all. Thank you. In these times of intense fire and change, know there's a divine plan, and feel that. Let it guide you. All is well. Speak the truth and still know all is well. Thank you. Yeah. So there's this strong, clear energy coming in for our lower chakra energy. It is fierce and strong, yet we're to know we're safe, we're well. We're all one with Source. We cannot be taken away from it. Nothing can take us away from it. Nothing. There's no thing that can be created or happen in the world that would take it away. That you're always well. Thank you. Yeah. Take precious care of yourself and others, being strong for the light within you. Strong for humanity, strong for the world, strong for everything. It's like for all life in all its forms. Value yourself, for you're one with infinity, with all life. As you appreciate it, life reveals its treasures again and again to you. Washes up on the shore with ease, like a care package, just custom made for you again and again. Be sure to notice and to enjoy. All is here for you to receive. Thank you. Okay, all right, so we'll do a channel prayer to wrap up. So take a nice deep breath then. In through your nose, up through your crown chakra, up through your higher self, up to love, light, source, energy, up into the all in all. And as you exhale through your mouth, let this energy come back down through your higher self, down through your crown chakra, down through all your chakras, through the body, through your organ field, down through your feet, down through your root chakra, down to the core of the earth. As I speak these words, and the I am, for everyone to listen to my voice, as I recognize God, love, light, source, spirit is all there is. I'm grateful that life is filled with splendors of amazing colors and different energies and opportunities for me to explore all the colors of the rainbow in my life. And from that sense of variety, I get to experience the oneness at the same time. And from that place, I get to appreciate all the myriad of forms and experiences that I can have here in this incarnation. as I'm alive with the spirit and my soul-powered rockets in my business as well, through my purpose, knowing what it is that I want to bring forth, getting clear on that, taking the next steps, and knowing that I'm ready to take those next steps because I've been guided to it. I'm self-anointing myself today and saying, yes, I'm ready to take whatever my next steps are and let them be well, and know that I'm thriving and prospering, doing the work I'm here to do during this time, knowing there's fire and steel in it with incredible love and fulfillment for all, knowing that I'm ready to embrace all of my life and all of me, and therefore embracing all of life everywhere. As I do so, I know that I bring my energy forth to love and support others through marketing and sales, and of course through my wonderful gifts and services, knowing it's all interconnected and all really coming from the heart. It's all flowing through my heart. It's from my heart. And then I'm grounded in my being and letting it unfold and happen and letting it be well. I am ready to receive the treasures of life in their fullness and let them unfold through me to rock my sacred purpose. So as I let it be so, I let it be done. Experience the increase now in my life through sales and all opportunities that want to unfold through me. I'm a big yes to it now, and let it be so. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you all, and so it is. All right, okay. All right, so if your eyes happen to be closed, you can come back, open your eyes like I am, move around. Yeah. All right. So, just grateful to share with you all today. It's so lovely to be with you all. Lots of huge love for you all, and yeah, if you want help, if you've got things you're trying to figure out or try to move forward on, just let me know you'd like to connect with me further on a one-to-one basis, and I'm happy to support you. Okay, everybody, we'll leave it at that. I'll see you on Monday at 3 p.m. for a regular time together here for the Facebook Lives each week, and for another episode another segment of Awakened Sales. All right, lots of love, and goodbye for now.